Magandang hapon sa inyong lahat. We are your pros and cons. Ako si Damir, nagtatrabaho ako sa consular section sa embassy, US Embassy in Manila.
Hi, good afternoon. I am Tam with the Embassy's Consular Office, and we are here to answer your US visa and consular questions.
So, for our first episode, we will try to answer your questions regarding non-immigrant visas.
So I guess let's get to it. So for question number 1, hi Thezi. Your question is, my daughter was petitioned by her US citizen father and yet was approved. She is still waiting for the priority date to become current. She planned to apply for a tourist visa for the reason she wants to visit her father, who is already 67 years of age, her sister, brother, and nephew. My question is she allowed or does she have a chance to apply for the tourist visa, although she is still under petition by her father, who is a US citizen?
Thank you for your question, Tezzy. That's a good one. While the existence of the immigrant petition is, in a sense, proof of somebody intends to immigrate at some point, us as consular officers sometimes do take into consideration that the person does not want to immigrate at that point in time. So if the person presently has strong ties to the Philippines and can demonstrate credibly to the consular officer in question that they really intend to return upon their short visit to the United States, they might qualify for a non-immigrant visa, despite the fact that they do have a pending immigrant petition.
Okay, I think that's a good answer. We go to question number 2.
Question number 2. Okay. Hi, Chang. Thank you for your question. And the question is, I'm renewing my tourist visa soon. My wife and daughter are also planning to apply for their tourist visas. Since we are planning to visit US this coming spring season, is it possible to still apply as a group family? How will we go about it? Thanks. Well, the way to go about it is quite straightforward and simple, and it's all on our website. The first thing that you need to do is pay your visa fee. After that, you need to fill out your DS-160, which is basic visa application form that we also have available online. Following that, you need to schedule an appointment and show up and talk to one of us during your visa interview. That's basically all you need to do to apply for a US visa.
Okay. On the question regarding, or is it possible for you to apply as a group or as a family? No, we do not have a group appointment for families. What you can do is to apply individually. So the members of the family can apply as individuals, and you can just schedule your appointment all on the same day, all in the same time slot for you to be able to go to the embassy together at the same time. So next question.
Next question is from Lynn. You want to take it?
This third question is from Leah. I have a 4-year-old son in the United States and I want to visit him on his 5th birthday this February, but my visa application was denied last October. What's the most possible way to secure a visa so I could visit him? Should I ask the father of my son to sponsor my tour, or should I apply again with the same process? That's for you to answer.
Thank you, Leah, for your good question. Please know that while consular officers are concerned about the fact how are you going to support yourself during the stay in your temporary stay in the United States, we also need you to prove to us that you have compelling reasons to return to your country of origin, this case being Philippines, after your short visit to the United States. The burden of proof is on you to demonstrate to the consular offices that your ties out here are compelling. Those ties come in many forms, but when they're all considered together, they must convince the consular officer that your visit will be temporary only rather than staying there for indefinite amount of time.
Yes. And on the question, like, should I ask the father of my son to sponsor my tour? If we could just add what you're trying to see as you're the consular officers.
As a consular officer, I'm by law not allowed to take into consideration endorsements or financial documents provided by the third parties, family members, sponsors, be it you yourself as an applicant must qualify to obtain visa, B1, B2 visa in this case.
Yes, so in other words, what Damir here is trying to say is what the officers want to know, ang nais nilang malaman ay iyong ikaw bilang isang aplikante. So what they want to know is hindi nila kailangang malaman ang tungkol sa iyong sponsor dahil hindi ang sponsor ang nag-a-apply. Ikaw iyon at nasa sa iyo na i-demonstrate kung ano yung mga capabilities mo, ano tong mga compelling ties. That's what you will often hear. Ano tong mga compelling ties na magpapabalik sa iyo dito sa Pilipinas, whether it be family ties, economic, business ties. Dapat mong, yun ang gagamitin mo para makumbinsi ba ang officer on the day of the interview.
Tama ka?
Maraming salamat.
Next question is from Ana Maria. Ana Maria, thank you for your question. Is the renewal of tourist visa to Dropbox still applicable? Thank you. An individual may qualify for interview waiver if he or she qualifies under certain criteria that we all have listed on our website, which is traveldocs.com.
ustraveldocs.com.
Thank you, Tam. /PH, and then from there you can find. There are certain criteria that you must qualify for visa waiver or interview waiver program. If you are not able to qualify by answering these, I think 10 simple questions, you may apply for a regular visa procedure, which will require interview with a consular officer.
Yes. Okay. If you weren't able to get yung link to the website, we're gonna post it down sa comments. It's US Travel Docs. And be sure to go to legitimate websites. Okay? So, ang
Very important.
ipinopromote lamang namin ng embassy ay ang US Travel Docs na website. We'll post it on the comments. Or you can go directly from the US Embassy here in the Philippines, yung website ng US Embassy. So in addition sa question ni Ana Maria about renewal of tourist visa via Dropbox, explain lang namin, Dropbox ang common na tawag natin dito, but it's also the interview waiver process. If you go to US Travel Docs, you will see their renew my visa, and then you will see their like eligibility criteria, which you will have to review to make for you to be able to be sure na qualified nga ako dito. So, it will be direct you to the appointment website and may mga sasagutan ka doon na yes or no questions. For example, I was a previous B1, B2 visa holder, yes or no? Kapag yes, you will proceed on to the next steps. And you have to be sure na yes ang sagot mo sa lahat ng mga katanungang iyon. Kasi yun lang ang those are the criteria really needed for you to be able to qualify. Kasi kahit mag-yes ka, but then dumating sa amin ang dokumento mo, ibabalik rin namin yan sa inyo. So para mas mapadali ang proseso, kapag hindi ka talaga qualified, you have to go through the regular process, which is to schedule an appointment and you have to appear for interview with a consular officer.
That is correct. If answer all the questions truthfully, and if you're truly qualified, your visa will be processed via interview waiver program. Otherwise,
Very well
you're
said.
welcome. You're welcome to come and see us in the embassy. Let's move on to the next question, which is from Wildar. I'm going to renew my C1 visa next year. Is it possible to get a B1, B2 visa to experience the goodness of Americans once I retire? Thanks. An individual may qualify for two visa categories and have two valid visas in the passport if they're visas of different categories. So, for example, you may have at the same time C1 visa and B1, B2 visa in your passport if you qualify for both. So you're more than welcome to come and apply for B1, B2 visa. However, the visa that you will present to the at a point of entry will depend on your purpose of travel as well as your application for a visa. Your purpose of travel, primary purpose of travel, determines which visa you're applying for, and then if you have multiple visas in your passport, which visa you're showing to the Customs and Border Protection Officer once you're at a border applying for entry to the United States.
Okay, great answer.
Thank
Next
you.
question. We go to a question from Laurelie. I have a valid U.S. tourist visa where my marital status is single. I recently got married, but I still don't have my PSA authenticated marriage certificate. I was told that it will take some months before I could get a copy of that from the PSA. Could I use my U.S. visa where my marital status is single? I still have not changed my last name as I don't have the PSA authenticated marriage certificate and I still don't have a new passport. Will that affect my husband's application to petition me in the future? Question number 1. He is a green card holder and staying in the US. Or is it all right for me to use my maiden name but just declare myself as married when I go to the United States? That's 2 questions.
So you need to upfront and honest to when talking to any U.S. government officials, including Customs and Border Protection officers. That being said, generally multiple entry, multi-year, such as 10-year visas, are valid for their duration. That means if you have a multiple year visa, B1, multiple entry, B1, B2 visa in your passport, that visa will remain valid unless it's damaged, tampered with, or expired. You should, if you have gotten married and there has been a name change, you should make sure, and you're traveling with a document that doesn't have your current name on it, you should bring to the gate point of entry to a document that shows that you have changed your name. This could be, for example, a PSA issued security or PSA issued marriage certificate printed on security paper that you can present to the official at a point of entry to confirm that your name has indeed changed. That being said, if your passport becomes invalid and you're getting a new passport, you should get a new passport under your now married name. And once you do that, to avoid any sort of inconvenience, we strongly encourage applicants to apply for another B1, B2 visa, which will now be issued under your married name.
Okay. I think it will be nice to add to his answer, to the mayor's answer about answering the DS-160. You will often hear DS-160 when it comes to US visa applications. Ito po yung sinasagutan ninyo online. It's the online online or electronic visa application, which you will need to answer accurately, completely, and honestly. Yun po yung napakahalaga. Itong sa DS-160, so for example in Lorely's case, you're already married, you have to declare that you are already married. But then in the name portion, when asked for the name portion, follow your name as written on the valid passport that you are holding. So all information kung ano yung nasa passport mo, but when it comes for civil status, technically you're married, so answer it honestly, just indicate married. Single if you are single, and not married or have never been married.
Truth is always the best policy.
Yes.
Let's go.
So
on
that's
to the
what
next
we
question.
promote here. Next question. Okay. This question is from Charito. I have been denied twice. I have my tourist sponsor for my short vacation and his two kids who are 23 and 16 years old. And they really want to see me in person. My sponsor, who is also my boyfriend, wonder why I couldn't pass the interview for the US visa. He wanted to call the consular officer so that he would know the best thing to do or what other papers to submit so that I can pass my US tourist visa interview. Okay, so it's a situation, but there's a thought there. There's a question there that Charito wants to ask.
So I think Sharita is asking, and we will go back to third person,
Yes,
third parties guaranteeing for somebody. Charito, you need to present yourself for the interview.
Yes.
Be honest in answering consular officers' questions. The fact that somebody has been denied twice does not preclude them from ever getting a U.S. visa. When we interview applicants, we look at them and are trying to establish their ties to the country at that time, at the time of the interview. So if you have compelling changes in your personal life, your circumstances have changed over time, which they do all the time. If you were not qualified a couple of years ago and now you have more compelling ties to the Philippines, you might be able to get a visa, despite the fact that you've been denied twice before. I have myself issued visas for people who have been denied several years ago. Other officers do that as well. I know it for a fact. When it comes to which documents should be submitted, as Charita is asking, the only thing that we really need in an interview is DS-160 and you to show up so we can interview you and talk to you and assess your situation in the Philippines. Bringing additional documents, especially documents from third parties, is not necessary because, as I said before, I think by law I'm not able to take into consideration guarantees or endorsements from third parties, family members, or other people who want to guarantee on your behalf that you will return to U.S.
Okay. So again, we go back here to the DS-160. So I guess what's really important is for the applicants to take time in focusing and answering this DS-160, which
correct.
you can do at home. You can do it you can actually accomplish it. If you don't have time, just save it and go back again. Dito po kayo magfo-focus sa DS-160 ninyo, because this is a basic, actually. This is the basic document or the basic piece of information that i-check po ng officers when you come for interview. Should they need, so when you come for interview, they'll review your DS-160. It's what you put in there that they will base their questions on. So if they don't see the information there, that's the time the officers will ask you questions. Most of the time, they won't ask for any documentation. So again, focus on the DS-160, answer it accurately, honestly, completely.
That is correct.
Yes. Okay. We proceed to
question number 7 from Ricardo. Hi, Ricardo. Thanks for joining us on this Facebook Live. Ricardo asks, I was issued a 10-year non-immigrant visa in 2011. I went home to the Philippines after having been granted. Since then, I wasn't able to go back to U.S. I want to change for tourist visa. How will I do it? The answer here is the visa classification you are applying for depends on your primary purpose of travel. If your primary purpose of travel is tourism, then you should apply for B1, B2 visa, which is a tourist visa. If you have other purpose of travel, there are other non-immigrant visa categories that people apply for, but there are also immigrant visa categories, which we will not dive into today because we have our experts from our immigrant visa section who will be doing Facebook Live at some point in the future, and we'll let them answer those questions. Again, you should apply for the visa category depending on your purpose of travel. All the information is available on our website, and it's simple. Follow the procedures as prescribed.
Okay. We posted a teaser of the pros and cons earlier, and we received also immigrant visa questions. We received them, but this first episode focuses on non-immigrant visa applications. So just to give you an idea, our consular unit, we have the non-immigrant visa section and the immigrant visa section. So technically, under this non-immigrant visa category, we have the tourist visa, which is actually the same. A tourist visa is a non-immigrant visa. Okay, so I guess that answers your question. And for those questions that aren't answered, because these are immigrant visa questions, again, as Demir said, these will be answered in future episodes of pros and cons. And we have better experts on this field who will answer them for you.
So stay tuned. Let's go to the next question. Question number 8 from Pauline. I'm applying for a tourist visa. Can I do it on my own to make an appointment online, or is it okay to ask travel agency for assistance? Hope to get a response. It will help me a lot. Thanks so much. Tam, you want to take this one?
So in applying for a tourist visa, yes, you can do it on your own, which is making an appointment online. It is also okay for you, or it's up to you actually, to seek the assistance of a travel agency. But then just to explain it, the visa application process, it's actually made really simple. You just have to keep in mind 3 steps. You have to pay the visa fee. Then second, you have to complete and answer your DS-160. And third, you have to schedule your appointment online. All these information, all the steps that you will need, you can get this information again from US Travel Docs. We'll post the complete link on the comment section, or you can be redirected from the US Embassy Philippines website. So again, 3 steps: paying the visa fee, completing your DS-160, and scheduling an appointment online.
Don't forget to show up for interview once you make an appointment.
Yes, and after, don't forget to show up for your interview. Okay,
that's it.
Next question.
I'll take the next question.
Okay, this is from Sheen. Hi, Sheen. How much money will you prepare in going to the United States? Do we need a bank account that contains a huge amount, like 1 million pesos?
Well, while it's nice to have a huge account with 1 million
nice
pesos in it, it is absolutely unnecessary to come with an account that thick. What we're looking at, again, we're going to the fact, we are looking at your purpose of travel, which in most cases is tourism, visiting for 7 to 10 days, or whatever it might be. And we are also making sure that you have sufficient financial resources and funds to sustain yourself in U.S. And be able to conduct the activities you've told us you will do. So just make sure that you can convince the consular officer that you have actually enough money to travel. It doesn't have to be 1 million pesos. And as I said before, Tam has said that we rarely have time to look at a supporting documents other than DS-160 and simply talking to you. So if we do need some document from you at some point, and you don't have it on you, there's no reason to be afraid of not having enough documents on you. If the only reason why we're not sure whether we can issue a visa or not is you're lacking certain document, we will ask for it. We will give you time we will put your visa in what we call 221G.
Put it on hold.
On hold, administrative refusal, and you will be able to send that required document to us at a later date. We'll be able to look at it, make a determination. You will not even have to pay another visa fee. So do not burden yourself with bringing a huge volume of documents, be it a bank account that shows that you have 1 million pesos in there or anything else.
Okay, so again, we go back to the DS-160. It's important to focus on your DS-160 rather than preparing these documents, because again, the primary source of information that officers will check is a DS-160. So that's what really they will focus on. And on the day of the interview, they will ask you. So it's really more of an interview. It's the officer asks a question, you answer. So it will go from there. And in very rare cases, like he mentioned, they may require documents, and they will put the application on hold and give you instructions on how to provide these documents.
That's correct.
Okay. Okay, question number 10 from Sheen. Do we need to apply and dress to impress during the interview?
No, absolutely not. We do not have a dress code at the U.S. Embassy. However, we do encourage a smart casual. Other than that, there's really no need to try to impress consular officer by dressing in your super formal attire or bringing super expensive jewelry or your Rolex watch, because those things won't have a positive or negative effect on your interview. Sometimes it's best to leave valuables at home and keep them safe rather than
exactly
bring all that stuff to the embassy.
Yes, exactly. Again, it's not really the outfit that you look at. Again, it's a DS-160.
I'm looking for honest and truthful candidate who has a valid visa to travel,
so
and
that's their ideal applicant, an honest and an honest candidate.
Honest
Okay,
applicant.
so i-explain ko lang po, dressing to impress, hindi talaga siya kailangan, but it's best to go and show up for your interview dress in a smart, casual way. So kapag pumunta ho kayo on the date of your interview, it would be best, alam ko naman pinaghahandaan ninyo rin yung inyong visa interview. Umaga pa lang paghandaan nyo na, iisipin nyo na, pero hindi nyo na kailangang dalhin talaga yung mga, you do not need to wear additional jewelry, and also you do not need to bring your gadgets with you. Kasi hindi to tinatanggap, hindi to i-allow within the embassy compound. So kapag pumunta ho kayo, yung mga sinasabi lang po sa website na kinakailangan ang dapat dalhin. You have your valid passport, your appointment confirmation, your DS-160 confirmation page, and the other basic documents na talagang kailangan, and this information are available sa website. Ang cellphones, any electronic gadgets, headphones, power banks, flash drives, hindi rin po yan allowed, ay iwanan nyo na po kung saan man kayo magmumula. Or kung may kasama po kayong may iwan sa labas, ipaubayan nyo na po sa kanila.
Thank you for clarifying that point on electronic gadgets and cell phones.
Yes, no problem.
Very important one.
Okay, so
question 11 from Dean. Kindly explain why tourist visas are mostly denied. Can you give us and explain the complete standards to have approved visa? We don't have time to go through all the criteria we look at, but the basics are very simple. Under the Article 214B of the U.S. Immigration and Nationality Act, you need to be sure that you intend to return to your place of residence. You do not intend to abandon your place of residence in the future.
Okay. I-explain ko lang po sa inyo, no? Ang pag-apply po kasi ng tourist visa, as I mentioned earlier, ang nais kong malaman or makita talaga ng officer is they want to get to know you. And it is up to you to demonstrate iyon ngang compelling ties that will ensure that you will return back to the Philippines. Ang mga consular officers, hindi naman they really don't want to deny. Okay? But there's a law that governs this. Ito yung tinatawag, there's an immigration law and by policy, kung maririnig nyo yung 214B, it's presumed that all non-immigrant visa applicants have immigrant intent. So, ikaw pa lang na nag-a-apply, nag-schedule ng visa, you're already presumed to have immigrant intent. And on the day of your interview, it's probably your job, your responsibility to overcome yung mindset or presumption na iyon. Yun yung gagawin mo on the day of your interview. And you have to do this to the satisfaction of the consular officer.
There's no need to stress about the interview and coming to
Yes,
the embassy.
exactly.
I want to emphasize that because people make themselves very nervous before they come to talk to us, which is not helping them. You should know that at the U.S. Embassy in Manila, we approve vast majority of the applications and applicants that are presented to us. So please relax and just talk to us like you would to your colleague or a friend, and we'll move on from there.
Yes, and it probably before your interview, makikita mo ikaw na yung next sa window. You can take deep breaths, then go to the officer. Kakausapin naman po kayo ng mga officers in you. They will greet you, and if you need a Tagalog or an interpreter, ibang dialect, meron po kaming available niyan dito sa embassy. So, it's just mainly a conversation between you and the officers. And you just have to be truthful, be natural. Again, don't stress too much.
Don't stress too much.
Yes.
Just take this as a conversation.
Yeah, exactly.
Where we're trying to determine certain things.
Okay.
Let's move on to question number 12 from
Jamaris. Okay.
My real purpose of going to US is to visit my boyfriend. But they say don't tell it to them because it will be one of the reasons that I will be denied. Is this true? Absolutely not true. As a matter of fact, you should always be honest with the consular officers. If you have compelling ties that will make you leave U.S. after short visit to the United States, it doesn't matter who you have in the United States. I approve people who have parents in the U.S. I approve people who have boyfriends in the U.S. I approve people who have friends in the U.S. The fact that you know somebody in the U.S. does not matter as much as the fact that you have strong and compelling ties in the Philippines and you can convince the consular officer that you intend to truly return to the Philippines after the short visit. So.
I just want to add, no? Jamaris, you mentioned, but they said, don't tell it to them. This means that you're probably listening to other previous applicants. Meron kami dito sa embassy, we have this public awareness, public service campaign, which is walang sikreto. We're really being honest, wala pong sikreto sa pag-a-apply ng US visa. Wala pong magic word, walang sikreto. We're just really upfront, and you also, as an applicant, you just really have to be upfront, again, honest, be natural in stating the purpose of your travel to the officer. So, it's better, maganda yan, you're tuning in live, nakikinig ka sa amin, listen to what we're saying.
Listen to us.
Listen
Don't
to us rather than listening to what other people are saying. The best source of information is probably yung representatives of the U.S. government, U.S. travel docs. Again, get your information from the U.S. Embassy website. So thank you, Jamaris.
Question number 13 from Chito. How much is the visa fee? Thank you. Well, this is a great question. Visa fee is $160 for non-immigrant B1 B2 visa at this point in the Philippines. It is $160 payable in Philippine pesos. At the currency exchange at the day when it is paid, right?
Yes. The visa fee. So I guess most of us tuned in are applying for a tourist visa. So again, Demir mentioned it's $160. How you pay it, it's the process is on the website. You have to download a deposit slip. You will have to present this deposit slip to BPI. Yan po yung ating like the partner bank. So
Yeah.
again, ito yung legitimate. Don't pay anywhere else. Download the deposits.
Banknet, and BP and
Yes,
and
Banknet
BPI
and
Bank.
BPI.
Those are the only two legitimate ways to pay for a U.S. visa. So
Yes, and those are the amounts.
if you're paying anywhere else, or anybody's asking you for $161 or $165, they're not legitimate. Don't pay them.
Yes, exactly. So it's best when you give them the deposit slip. They will validate it for you. That's what you will use, and that's what you will use when you schedule your appointment. And you can even bring this on the date of your interview as really proof na nagbayad ka talaga nung amount that is stated there.
That's correct.
Okay, so thank you, Chito. Okay. Hi, Manang Inday. We received your question. Manang Inday says, hello, Damir and Tam. My family and I were already granted a 10-year visa last 2017 and was able to visit US in 2018. We were recently affected by the floods that happened here in Davao City last August, and our passports were soaked in flood water. Do we still need to apply for a US visa?
Excellent question. And the short answer is yes. As I said previously, multiple entry U.S. visas are valid until they expire or they're damaged or tampered with. Your passports were soaked in flood water, so I'm assuming not only your visa is damaged, unfortunately, and it's sad to hear this. However, you will need to reapply again. When you apply for a visa, I would advise you to bring the damaged visa to U.S. Embassy so you can show it to the consular officer. Also, if you had your visa lost or stolen, which happens to our applicants, it is prudent to bring affidavit of loss issued by Philippine police so that we can enclose that with a case and show that truly your visa has been lost or stolen. So unfortunately, I'm sad that you've been affected by recent floods, but unfortunately your family will have to reapply for US visas if you wish to travel to US.
Okay, and just to reiterate, for the lost stolen visas, when you no longer have your previous US visas, you always need to reapply. So there's no replacement of visas. But what you will need is to reapply, and again, same process, pay the fee, DS-160, schedule an appointment, and appear for the interview. What you can do during the interview, it will be there on record naman. You can state that I had a previous visa, it was lost. It will also be asked pala dun sa DS-160. Have you ever been issued? Is it lost? So you just answer as truthfully. And if you have a lost visa, present on the date of the interview. I guess that's one document that we will need.
That's one
The
more document.
affidavit of loss and
loss.
the police report.
It's
So because
prudent to bring it.
it's really needed. Okay, so there you go.
Well, that's it for our first episode today. Thank you all for your wonderful questions. We join us again next month for another episode of Pros and Cons.
Okay, thank you to everyone who posted their questions. We will try our best to answer them in the comments or in our future episodes.
And thanks to Tezzy, Marilyn, Leah, Chong, Sean, Bias, Jennifer, Annalyn, Rosalinda, Ana Maria, Susan, Estella, Mark, Angel Nicole, Louis, Wildar, Jo Marie, Laura Lee, Mark Shervin, Ia, Judy Dean.
Okay, and thank you also to Ross, Lailani, Pau, Ricardo, Grace, Iris, Charito, Chelai, Tony, Sheen, Fe, Lito, Kerry, Jason, Anya, Jacqueline, Tante, Tim, Jamaris, and Boudreaux. We're thanking very many people, but we're sorry we weren't able to answer all your questions. Some questions were for the other units, which again will be tackled in future episodes of Pros and Cons.
Maraming salamat po. Bye.